Well, we are confident, but then confidence itself is not good enough. You have to be working tomorrow. Full concentration and give your best.
This is another attack.
Kedah will be playing their 6th final in 7 years, but have won only once. Coach Robert Albert is determined to taste success again.
Well, disappointments. I was with Kedah last year when we reached the final. That was when we were second division team. To reach the final is already an achievement. We lost it due to Pahang was a better team. We didn't play out of strength. That means that this year we have learned a lot from last year. We are very eager to show that we can make it as a team. Also, there's another reason. We have our Sultan's birthday tomorrow, and all the boys, the coaches, the officials, we want to give him a very nice present for his birthday. He's a very supporter for us. And to the people of Kedah who have been behind the team in a very supportive way, there are 3 reasons. Like I say, we want to win the cup.
You know, there's always something quite different when we play Singapore. Of course, a final is a final. It has got all the atmosphere and everything. But this final always make us feel as if we are playing an international match. You know, Singapore being a national team, so to speak, and we will get you know the support of a lot of Malaysians, for that matter. So the game has got its own atmosphere, its own dimension, and I think to be able to play in this match with the standard of football that has been seen, the way Singapore play the game and the way we played our game, I think this is going to be a great final in every aspect of it.
Fans from both teams began queuing up at the Merdeka Stadium from as early as 9 p.m. last night in their search for the elusive tickets, which went on sale from 9 a.m. this morning.
Hi there, Mark Richmond reporting from the Merdeka Stadium. Good evening, Singapore. And the atmosphere right here in Kuala Lumpur at the moment, at least in this part of Kuala Lumpur, is deafening. It's pulsating. Singapore and Kedah, the supporters locked together in wild camaraderie and celebrations. It's only a testimony that these two sides made it to the final because they have the best supporters in the whole of the Semi-Pro League. Our Singapore supporters behind, as you can see, in wild support, the die-hard fans, about 16,000 of them have all turned up right here in the Merdeka Stadium, loud and proud, and they've all joined hands with the Kedah support, coming here as early as about, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it grew louder and louder. They were singing the Dream Team's team and the Ole Ole right up till now. The pitch in perfect condition, but it's beginning to drizzle a little bit here. As you can see, the wind's blowing my hair a little bit and messing things up right here. But it's drizzling a little bit. We hope, though, that the rain subsides as the final kicks off in about, 14 minutes from now. So the supporters, as you can see, the Lions are on the pitch already warming up. They came down earlier on for a short little while to warm up to thunderous support from the Singapore team. And the Dream Team's team was playing at the same time, and everybody was singing, "Come on, everybody, feel the power, feel the steam, it's the Dream Team." And looking at their lineup this evening, the Lions retain the same 11 players that beat Sarawak at the National Stadium, that clinched them a place in tonight's final. And that means Abdul Malik keeps his place in goal, and Saswati Mata Dazuki stays at left full-back. Borhan Abu Samar, a lot of speculation about him going to left full-back. Well, he will not be playing at left full-back this evening. It's Saswa who retains his place. In fact, Borhan isn't named among the reserves as well. Among the reserves, we have Razali Saad, Yaya Maron, Stephen Tan, among all the popular names down there. But still, we certainly hope that the rain, well, it holds up down here because it's beginning to drizzle a little bit, as I said earlier on, and the pitch in perfect condition. We hope it stays that way in about 40 minutes from now when Singapore takes on Kedah in Malaysia Cup Final 1993. We'll talk to you then.
From the Merdeka Stadium, Kuala Lumpur, we bring you live coverage of the Singapore-Kedah Malaysia Cup Final.
Two sides that kicked off the Malaysia Cup competition will end it all off in the Merdeka Stadium tonight, and it's only appropriate that these two sides are the highest scoring teams in the Malaysia Cup competition. They meet in the final. Kedah and Singapore play to the adage that attack is the best form of defense, and half between them scored 33 goals from the quarterfinals onwards. Singapore have scored 18 of these, and as you can see, the die-hard fans, a section of the die-hard fans who've turned up in full steam supporting the national team right here at the National Stadium, and they've been singing and cheering and doing the wave since 3 o'clock onwards. And as I was saying earlier on, Singapore scoring 18 of those 33 goals. They are the highest scoring side in all competitions this season, and that's an indication which department they're strongest in, and justifying their expensive strike unit. But it's a defense that have looked unnecessary, they have leaked unnecessary goals all season round. And they must be at their best certainly against Kedah's side, a full-blooded Kedah team who will punish any slight mistake as shown in the 2-2 draw at the National Stadium in the quarterfinals. Well, very shortly we will welcome the King of Malaysia, Agong Azlan Shah. He'll be meeting the players who are playing in the cup final this evening. Escorted, of course, by police, and we'll be catching up with all 22 players. They meet the Kedah team first, and the team coach, Robert Albert. Very nervous points indeed for the players, standing around and just waiting for the kickoff to come. Tibor Shaban, number 4, and the most versatile of all Kedah players. Now he'll have a chat with the match referee, Nazri Abdullah. Nazri, of course, officiated that pre-World Cup qualifying match between England and San Marino and Bologna. And he's introduced to the linesman and reserve referee, and that manager Patrick Ang, manager of teams in Singapore. Zhang Zhong will captain the side tonight. It's his first cup final appearance, Zhang Zhong, one of 5 Singapore players who have not played in the Malaysia Cup final at all. This guy Sundramoorthy has, in fact, in 2 cup final appearances, he scored on both occasions. A consolation goal in Kedah's 2-1 defeat in 1989, and scoring the first of 3 goals in Kedah's 3-1 victory over Singapore in 1990. So all the formalities have been met. The teams have been introduced to the King. And just look at the atmosphere here at the stadium. A real colorful scenery. How about that for a spectacle? Packed to its capacity as we await the band to move out and the players to scatter around the pitch. Once again, the photographers will want a few snapshots. Pierre Nsibaji kissing the field before walking in earlier on. Oh, he'll be one nervous soul this evening. And Robert L. Niza Adha, good covering by Saswadi Mata Dazuki. Abbas with some poor ball control. And very early free kick conceded by Singapore. In only the 2nd minute of play, Kedah have gained a free kick in a very dangerous position.
It's far from being the start that Singapore would want there. Don't want to be put under pressure, don't want to be...
For Kedah. Farizuan Hamid is there, so was Fandi Ahmad, who was the last to touch the ball. No, in fact it was Lim Cheong Kim who last touched the ball, and it goes out for a goal kick to Kedah. But a very nervous start by the Singapore side, and good play by Abbas. Fandi has control now. Sundram. Saswa. The few passes strung together then by Singapore, and a good way to get their confidence and the spirit going again. At the moment, Kedah controlling the pattern of play. Abbas, it's time to turn, does well, beats Nazri. Good play by Masri, almost losing the ball. Fandi, good work here by Fandi Ahmad. Good block by Tibor Zaban. And offside, that was Abbasad. When Fandi took the shot, he was in and off. Jonkin, here's Fandi, goes past Tibor Zaban. Inside is Abbasad. Just a little bit past Abbas's chest. It could have been danger because Jonkin lost the ball. All is the case. I thought he delayed his pass just a fraction. He allowed the defenders to move up and catch Alisson in offside position. Radi could hit her out. Farizuan finding Jonkin with some open space. Quick to close out on him was Ling high. A brilliant shot by Nizam Yusuf and a brilliant save to match that all the way. Abdul Malik punching it out for the first corner of the game, going to Kedah.
Yes, and Abdul Malik happens to be at his very sharpest there. There's a fine save, ball going across his body. Two players went in for the same challenge there. Nizam took the shot first time. Just what the coach Emmanuel was telling, get the ball across the body, far corner. And there was a little bit of swerve on that as well, and that's a nice save.
And it's an early goal for Kedah from the corner kick. I think Lee Kin Hong has gone up. The Singapore players protest, and I think they have their case there. Because one of their players was blocking Abdul Malik. If we can see from the replay again, one of their players was blocking Abdul Malik. He couldn't see the corner being swung in, and Kin Hong was at the end of it. There you are. Jong Kim, nothing malicious though, and probably a fair goal after all.
Actually, it's very similar to the goal that Singapore got in the National Stadium against Kedah. Lim Tiong Kim just went in and just made a sort of blocking run like American football on the goalkeeper, and it left a free header at the far post for Lee Kin Hong.
Wee. Play by Nazri Nasser. Tenacious Nazri moving forward again. The ball breaks for Fandi Ahmad. Good work here by Fandi. Singapore's first effort at goal, first look at goal. Quite a nice try taken. Punching each other, and that's a cross that almost created Kedah's second goal.
And Farizuan does ever so well there. Gets the ball, and Singapore are a little bit short on height.
They play it back this time. Onside, surprisingly. Three of the Kedah players look to be miles offside then. Linesman didn't see anything wrong with that. As we looked at the more dangerous of the two attacks earlier on. Must have seen that very late, Maliki. A lot of room now for Singapore's number 3. What can he do? Abbasar doing the running outside. He uses Abbas. Tries a shot at goal. It comes off Kedah defender Lee Kin Hong, and it's another corner for Singapore. Also behind the ball with his Australian compatriot. The shot comes in, it deflects off Tibor Zaban. Singapore corner. A lot of space now for Kadir. Makes use of him. Nazri's inside, but Kadir sends in one of his usual eccentric crosses.
For Singapore this evening, because he's the only one who can match their two flyers up front.
Does well to keep the ball in play, the Kedah player. That was Farizuan. Nizam Adha. Malik. And this one is a untidy incident then with Farizuan Hamid. Just a throw in out of it. Nizam again. Oh, that's surely a foul. Robert Albert's looking a little bit anxious. Sundram is good at striking these free kicks. Let's see what he can do. He takes a straight one as goalkeeper. Good vision there by Sundram. He saw the goalkeeper expecting a cross, decided to take one at goal, but Ahmad Sobri came back just in time to cover the angle.
Yeah, good idea that, because if he got a bit more swerve in it, he could well have crept in at the near post. And the keeper had 2 bites at the cherry anyway. And it's just a variation, something different, try something.
Muti. Zhang Zhong lines up a cracker, good shot. And Lee Kin Hong, the saviour that time for Kedah. Tibor Zaban. got Ola Bumi in front of him. What can Stephen do? Ola Bumi a little too wily for him. In fact, Ola Bumi has had a fantastic final this evening. Good cross by Stephen. Offside. Alistair Edwards. Nasri. Good shot by Nasri and just over. Oh, they can keep trying, Singapore. It certainly seems luck is not with them this evening. They played well, exceptionally well, I should say, in the second half.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Mark. It's been a very good performance second half. No question in their commitment.
Trying to spoil everything and really end the game. Will scorer captain Radi Martin. Radi takes Fandi on. Tianwei. He's had a good game, Tianwei. A minute and a half left. And it certainly looks like the Dream Team will falter in their attempt to bring the Malaysia. Can Singapore do a Sarawak and come back? Alistair, another save. Alistair has done his utmost best this evening. He's taken shots from almost every angle. You've seen them either saved by the goalkeeper, gone wide, and on one occasion even hit the post.
He had a very good game, Ahmad, Sobri. Fine performance indeed. This looked so set up, the wall didn't seem to be terribly well organised, but he just pushes it round for a corner.
We're playing injury time in the 1990 throw method, which really open shot at goal. 2-0 to Kedah. Radi Martin with the goal, which I'm sure will kill off any Singapore's hope of bringing the Malaysia Cup back after 13 years. Once again, it's that hoist inside the penalty box that created the ordeal. And sloppy defending from Zhang Jung. His header out wasn't convincing at all.
Well, the initial challenge there, nobody actually went for it. It picked up and Zhang Jung just headed it straight down. And unfortunately nobody was picking Radi Martin up there. Couldn't believe his luck and just drills it into the corner of the goal.
Even Tan, can Singapore snatch a consolation goal? Oh, that's a foul, definitely. A penalty. It might not be a penalty. Probably a free kick just outside the box, but the referee has given a penalty to Singapore. Robert Albert was up on his feet and ready to go out and hug his players and greet them for a great final appearance. Now sees his best defender, Tibor, Zaban, give away a penalty in injury time against Singapore.
Well, for my money, that's obstruction there, and that should be an indirect free kick, if anything. And there was a
consolation for Singapore in 1990 when they lost to Kedah. They're losing now by 2-0, but can he get the consolation goal? Nothing is going Singapore's way. Nice little gesture by Abasa. He went over to pull up Ahmad Sobri, and I was just talking about the icing on the cake, and probably that could be it from Ahmad.
It's not a great shot there from Alistair. He won't be very pleased with that one.
Well, while we're watching the replay, the final whistle has been blown. The Singapore players sink to their knees. They tried their utmost best. They gave a magnificent second half performance, but they just couldn't pull the goal back. 18 shots at the Kedah goal, none of them gone in. Alistair Edwards, most frustrated of the lot. Hit the post once, had a few shots saved by Ahmad Sobri, including that last-minute penalty. And finally, Kedah will get their second taste of Malaysia Cup success. Singapore will have to wait another year. We thought that the 13-year gap would be enough and the Lions would do it this time round. But they have to wait another season and have another goal. A lot of people have dubbed them the Dream Team, unfairly I should say. It is the best squad assembled in a long time. But they had a few first-time finalists playing, 5 of them and they certainly showed the jitters throughout the game, especially the defenders, Jamie.
Well, yes, I think perhaps Singapore were slightly outthought this evening. Kedah came at them early, wanted to get the early goal, which they did, and then played on the break throughout the game. And always looked dangerous. They're the Kedah supporters celebrating now. Singapore came at them in the second half, didn't really have quite enough imagination to undo the defence. And of course they did get a goal on the counter-attack. And again it was from a set piece. But the Singapore players have given their all this evening. You can see a few tears flowing now.
Kadir inconsolable. Have little thought as well for P.N. Sivaji, the Singapore coach. Well, he's had dubious honours throughout his career, but he did very well to get Singapore out of the second division and into the Malaysia Cup final. Could have been a fitting reward to end his term as Singapore coach by grabbing this trophy, but it's Radi who will be the first to touch this trophy this season, the Malaysia Cup 1993. The Lions played well. Lim Tong Hai is another inconsolable soul on the field. He's down, he's crying. As we look away from the screen for a short while at the section of Kedah supporters. But looking at the Lions, that's Tibor Zaban, who is very happy. His last minute conceding of the free kick didn't turn out into a goal. He said we had a great final. Peter Nakichin just couldn't get his goal, a goal disallowed. Even Fandi Ahmad is having a nice little cry down the pitch to wipe out all those bad memories. The die-hard fans were silenced throughout the second half and stunned by all of Singapore's missed opportunities, are giving a rousing reception to the Lions for their display in the final. They are happy. They've been here 6 times over the last 7 years, the Kedah supporters, and it's only the second time they've had their thumbs up after the final whistle. There's a guy, P.N. Sivaji. A lot of us were hoping that the Lions would end the season on a happy note. And that's the very sad look of Kadir once again, trying to pour some water over him to hide the tears. Tibor Zaban had a good final. And the Singapore bench looks a picture of distraught. The third successive team to do the double, Kedah, after Johor and Pahang in 91 and 92 respectively. Fariza Ismail, who was very hard on V. Sundramuthi throughout the whole evening. But he's got Fundy's shirt. And that's one guy who will want to forget this final very quickly. Chang Jung Abdul Malik had a fantastic final, I would have thought. He saved few certain goals, and the statistics tell all. Singapore with much more effort at goal, 18 shots altogether, 6 of them on target. Kedah having only 2 on target, and they both turn into goals. 3 if you count that disallowed goal by Peter Nakichin. 4 yellow cards for Kedah, 3 to Singapore, 1 sending off from each side. Borhan, who didn't play at all, he played last season in the final. He's got a cup winners medal with Pahang. So the Singapore fans will go back to their hotels right here in Kuala Lumpur disappointed. Abbasad is a frustrated figure down at the Singapore bench as we look up from here. Alistair Edwards is cursing under his breath. How unlucky can one get? Malik Awab, well, he's been on this pitch time and time again. He's seen and tasted Malaysia Cup success with Kuala Lumpur. Never with Singapore. And not again this time round. 3-1 in 1990 they lost to Kedah after extra time. Kedah just took 90 minutes this time round to beat Singapore by 2-0. Lee Kenangan in the first half. and Radi Muddin in the 69th minute of play in the second half, getting the goals for Kedah. And strangely, these two players, Kenangan and Radi Muddin, are one of 3 players to feature in the Kedah side, the last Kedah side which beat Singapore in 1990. In fact, the other player which featured in the Kedah side which beat Singapore in 1990 was Ahmad Sobri, the goalkeeper, and he kept a fine performance with a penalty save as well in injury time. Well, they deserve credit for all the discipline, fitness, enthusiasm and skill they've shown throughout the whole season, Kedah. Radi Muddin. Fariza Ismail, probably that was. Man of the match award he's been given. And a strange decision as well. Because I would have thought that Fariza is totally outshone by his compatriot Lee Kin Hong.
Difficult to give man of the match to a player who's been sent off, though, Mark.
Fariza was totally outshone by Sundram this evening. He had his moments, but had them dirty, so to say. Alistair will receive the award for being top goal getter in the second division. Mustafa receives it for scoring 13 goals for Kedah, for Kelantan this season. Disappointed man though in the Malaysia Cup, losing out to Kedah in the semi-finals. A team which has gone all the way to claim the big prize this season. The Fair Play Award now. Selangor winning the Fair Play Award from the second division, and very shortly Sarawak will receive the award for the Fair Play winners in the first division. Official from Selangor receiving the prize from the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Azlan Shah. And they've certainly shed their bad boy image, Sarawak, over the years. About a few years ago, if you were to say that Sarawak would win this Fair Play trophy, a lot of them would have just laughed it off and deemed it impossible. But these days, Sarawak, clean, disciplined side, a nice little shot of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Azlan Shah. Well, actually, the man of the match has been given to Kedah's goalkeeper. And that probably justifies, his penalty save probably justifies the man of the match award. He had a very good game, Ahmad Sobri. He is number 2 in Kedah. Came into the fall only after a horrible injury to their number 1, Azmi Mahmood. And he's proved a lot of critics wrong. He said that he's a little too old to play in the final, but he's proved a lot of critics wrong. And he really denied Singapore on numerous occasions. The Singapore side very reluctant to receive the runner-up medals. Chang Jung, Malik, and Fandi, who isn't very accustomed to receiving runner-up medals. Chang Jung goes up, and his first appearance in the cup final turns into defeat and tears. Alistair Edwards, very frustrated man with his free kick being saved by the goalkeeper, hitting the post. And to cap it all up, penalty saved by Ahmad Sobri. Kadir Yahya, who was inconsolable just now, he's gathered himself a little bit. Stephen Tan, who was crying after the final whistle, who earned the penalty, he couldn't do much about it. But Zali Saad is among the substitutes named this evening. Abdul Malik, who had a good final but couldn't stop the 2 shots. Tong Hai, SEA Games villain turned hero in the Malaysia Cup competition. And Abbasad, who is the most reluctant of the Lions to to go up and receive the runners-up medal. Second time he's received the runners-up medal with Singapore in the Malaysia Cup final. There you have it, Malaysia Cup champions 1993, ending the Semi-Pro League series of Kedah, and rightly so too, because they have been the most successful side over the last 7 years. They've appeared in 6 finals and have been very unlucky. Only 2 of them have turned out to be victories, and here's one of the 2. Radi savoring the moment now, and that's a shot he'll capture and take and tell his grandchildren about. Ismail, Lim Cheong Kim, who was outshone by Nazri in midfield, Tianwi, who had a very good final, setting up crosses. Nizam Adha, who had some good runs down the left flank for Kedah. Peter Naikatian never scored in the Malaysia Cup Series. Had a goal disallowed today. Ola Bumi, who had also a magnificent performance in defense, has come out injured. In fact, he was a candidate for the Man of the Match award as well. Farizuan Hamid, he couldn't end his Malaysia Cup season by scoring another goal in the final. But he doesn't mind. He's got that trophy which he kisses. Tibor Zaban having a look at it now. The Kedah fans not very used to this. Ahmad Sobri, the man of the match, and the person who deserves the prize most, Robert Albert. He's guided Kedah along so very well all season round. Jamie.
Yes, I think you're right, Mark. He is the man who's done everything for them. He's put together a team that combines a lot of competent talent, but he's turned them into an extremely impressive side. Very good from set-piece positions, very good game plans, and perhaps Singapore a little bit outthought by this man. Certainly would be my choice of Coach of the Year in the Malaysian tournament.
Well, we've read about Roberts being asked to coach the Singapore side, and he's certainly done one over the Lions this evening. Certain news coming in, leaking in now I should say. There is a very high possibility that Singapore's next coach, the person who replaces PN Sivaji, would be Sarawak's very own Alan Vest. We heard the news today from our producer Ramesh Kumar. And Alan Vest could very well be the next Singapore coach. They couldn't end it all with victory for Sivaji, but Robert Albert, after a fine season with Kedah, 3 trophies already to his collection, the 2nd Division champions, the 1st Division champions, and now the Malaysia Cup champions. So the Malaysia Cup final 1993 ends in despair once again for Singapore, finding Kedah the stumbling block for the 2nd time in 3 years. Lee Kin Hong and Radi, 2 of the more experienced Kedah squad members, getting the goals to end Kedah's season on a high note and leave Singapore still waiting for Malaysia Cup success after 13 long years. Final score from the Merdeka Stadium, Kedah 2, Singapore 0.